We have a 2001 Buell M2 Cyclone. I've got the seat off. We find that it's leaking oil right around here where this washer is on the return line to the oil tank. And try to figure out exactly what's going on. That's a good shot of it. So the oil line is completely dry. The only place that we get oil is right around the base of this connection. It runs down the oil tank all into the kickstand, onto the swing arm. So that connector, I tried screwing it in tighter and the leak continued. I tried unscrewing it and it stops after you turn it a ways, and I don't want to force it. Alright, here is the new O-ring. I just got this at my local independent Harley dealer. He's not a Buell dealer, so he didn't have the official Buell part. But we looked at the old one, which is here in my hand on top, and you can see the new part is just a little bit fatter, so hopefully that'll fill in the gap and stop the oil leak. I think I'm going to put a little bit of black Permatex around this washer just in case the place where where this screws into the oil tank has a little crack in it. So what it is there's a brass fitting stuck into plastic, and this screws into the brass. So I don't know for sure if the crack is around the fitting or if it was just leaking past this gasket. So I just want to take care of both. I'll just put a little film of sealer around this washer. Alright, here's my approach. We squeeze a little bit of this Permatex Ultra Black gasket maker onto a Q-tip. Step one. Just a little bit. I just want to get a little bit of a seal around the outside of the connection. And then I've cleaned this pretty well, so I'm just going to sort of paint it around the outside of the hole so that it seals the washer on the outside. Try not to get it inside the hole, so I don't want it to push gasket material into my oil tank. That would be bad. So now we just spin it around, get it to go in. Get it pointed in the right direction, lined up with where the old hose was, and then get a lock, tighten up that lock nut with the wrench from the top. This will smash down that rubber washer. Make sure I'm holding on to the part to keep it pointed in the correct direction. And that is that. The hardest part will be waiting until tomorrow to take it for a ride and see if it worked. Alright, so we've tightened it up with the hose clamp, made sure that the hose isn't twisted to the left or to the right. Make sure it's in exactly the same position, both left and right, and pointing in the exact same direction as it was when we first took it off. Just because the engine's going to bounce around on its rubber mounts, and we want the hose to be exactly where it's supposed to be so it doesn't cause any problems. Also, before I did this, I forgot to mention, I drained the oil level, some of the oil out of the tank down to about here. If I hadn't done that, when you take this thing off, if it's on the side stand and your oil tank is full, it's just going to drip and drip and drip because the oil level is actually above the return line when the bike is sitting still. Here we go. This is the next day. No leak, which is a good thing because we are up in the mountains looking out over the ocean. And if I were to have oil all over my back tire, that'd be a bad thing. Alright, we waited the long 24 hours for the Permatex to dry. You can see no more oil leak, which is a wonderful thing. So we are up here in the mountains, about to go down that road, and it would be most unpleasant if there were oil on my back tire and brake going around that corner. Oh, beautiful day in California. Catalina.